All right, here we go. Firing up a day in the shop. I did not pay him to do that, by the way. That's just excellent timing. Welcome to the city of Kissimmee, where no holds barred. You do whatever you want, nothing happens. Well, except maybe a violent collision and fire trucks, which you guys hear fire trucks in my videos a lot because of that kind of thing. In any event, all we're doing here is fixing cars, spending a day in the shop with me. I'm Jimmy, I'm making it work. We do the best we can every day. Sometimes we just put batteries in cars. I did put the Jeep yesterday. If you saw yesterday's video, the customer declined even the battery after having it towed into us. It's misfiring, there's no gas in it, a whole bunch of lights on. It needed a battery. The battery actually in the car was so bad it was discharging my jump box. So she didn't want to put the battery. She said we were ridiculously expensive. The battery should be more than $100. So I don't know where she Fast and Furious dump truck, nice. I don't know where she buys her batteries, but I'd like to find them for that cheap. That's a good price. I don't know where she buys her batteries, but $100 is pretty good. In any event, we did put the battery in it late last night after we closed up, so that she's ready to go this morning. At least they're not up to tow it, because she found out towing costs as much as a battery. All right, let's adult. We're gonna try adulting today a little bit. We'll still have some fun. We'll definitely learn a thing or two. I think more people need parents, the guidance of a parent. Seems like they were raised without parents. I don't know how that happens, but that's not up to me. I just row my own boat. I can't row everyone's boat because my arms get tired, you know? Let's stop flapping, finish getting the shop open and get started, see what we can get done today. I know we're gonna do some AC work on the Honda Civic, and we'll see what else happens. If you wanna find out, stay tuned. Let's fire this thing up. Got comeback first this morning. Remember this one? I did an induction service and tire rotation, brake check, alignment, just to make it more interesting. I spent a bunch of time on this car too when I was here last week, but he says the start stop doesn't work. It might have been earlier this week. Ever since I did the induction service, the stop start doesn't work. There's the button for it. It's a 2019, 79,000 miles. In case you're not familiar with it. I'm in my start stop data, and there's 3 pages of data, but the most important one is vehicle speed to allow stop start, latch met to allow stop start. That has to say true. So what happens is if you just try it sitting here, it's not going to do it. You have to drive, and once this goes to true, it should work. And you also have to have your seatbelt on. So we're going to put our seatbelt on because safety first. And then we're going to take this thing for a drive. I'm going to go drive and get this to say true, and we'll see what the stop start does. I'm not sure. Everything looks good. There's no codes. I'm not really sure what the dealio is. The induction service has nothing to do with the stop start. Let's put it that way. My first thing is to see if the stop starts. Once that says true. Oop, true. Stop start. Let's see. Stop start. Okay. Now if I let off the brakes, it should start. There it is. All right. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but stop start works. If you push this button and the red light comes on, that means it won't work. It's disabled. If you leave it off, then it lets it work normally. So the option is to disable it. The standard is with it enabled. I'm gonna park this thing, go inside and talk to him about it. That's one comeback averted. Let's just say you go to the doctor and have a little surgery done, and if he makes a mistake and you have to go into surgery again, is it a comeback? No, the doctor gets paid again. It's the nature of the beast. Let's see if we can get on that Honda AC line. I think the new line's here. Ah! Had to get a little green there, but we got it. quarter drive stuff should do that fine. It's just 10mm nut. Everyone uses the alignment rack for repairs when there's no alignments to do, so that's what I'm doing. I don't like to do it, but it's my turn. FYI, that bottom line, that's the hard line coming down from the frame rail, not the hose. Just wanted you to know. Just wanted you to know. I gotta tell the truth. I cannot tell a lie. I'm gonna take this other bolt out, pull it forward so I can get to that without taking the whole headlight out. Man, that condenser's twisted pretty good. It's amazing it's not leaking. They're pretty soft and flexible, so you've seen me take them out of the box. If you watch a lot of my videos, take them out of the box, they're tweaked. I'll just tweak them back, and they're usually pretty fine. But I found my bolt. It's right there. Plus, I'm trying not to take the headlight out. That doesn't help. Da, 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 da. Stop staring at me. Pay attention to what we're doing. This thing is basically beating me up. I don't want you to feel like you're being beat up too, but you know, it is what it is. Sorry. Oh, see the rust on the threads? This thing's been through so many cycles, hot to cold and moisture and dry. Every single thread had fought the whole way, but we won. A little refrigerant oil on these guys. The compressor side seems like the easier side, so I'm going to focus on this side first. Hopefully I don't regret that, but that's my plan. I can pull this through the hole down here. It's not all wide open under there. It's just there's a hole at the bottom about 4 inches. It's a lot of work not taking the bumper off. There we go. Oh, don't drop it, Jimmy. What are you doing? Oh yeah, we're almost home free. You don't have to be crazy tight. You just don't want it to loosen up. The O-ring actually seals it. All right, 20 minutes of vacuuming. Now we're gonna put 1 pound of refrigerant. And once I verify it's not leaking, I can pop this back on. We'll be good to go. Let's try it out. Oh man, don't mess with the Honda horsepower. Fast and Furious, baby. Oh, I already know we got some good air going. That's nice. I'll tell you what, these Hondas, when the AC's working, whoo, it works. It'll hurt. That's how cold it gets. If you guys saw yesterday's video, the oil life is down. It's ready for an oil change. Check engine light on. Airbag lights on. It's a fairly clean car. It's a 5. So the air is working good now. Go ahead and put that plastic cover on. This one's done. Looks like it might be a little bit of a slow day today, but we'll see what we can do to make it work. Colorado from earlier in the week, or 4 or 5 days ago. Leaking valve cover gaskets. Had a bunch of other problems, but we're just going to do the valve cover gaskets. Got to get these wheels off first. I take the wheels off just to lower it down. And to find out if it has any strip studs and nuts. Trying to see what we're working on here. Luckily, only 1 bolt was holding on. 2 of them are missing. Makes it a little easier. There's a hose into here. Gotta get off. Why I try to make it look like the engine is 6 inches further forward than it is. Someone said in one of my videos, I'm sure the engineers are smarter than some random mechanic on YouTube. I'm like, you haven't been paying attention, have you? I showed you all their mistakes. It shouldn't be too bad to do these. I've never done them, so we'll figure it out together. This side looks like the hard side, and this side looks like the easy side, but I could be wrong. Just some random mechanic on YouTube.
That's what it was.
Took the crossover off that goes to the air cleaner thing. There's a bear to get them connectors to release too, but then I looked over and the camera wasn't on. I apologize. Same thing on this one. Pull this little safety latch. What's up? All right, hold off on those valve cover gaskets. This customer needs this Volkswagen right away. Okay, what are we doing? A MAP sensor and clean the throttle body. That's what we're doing. I gotta pop this off, a couple of Torx, clamp, and then it just pushes down on some rubber stuff. Apparently it's got a P0106. And these cars, they get some miles on them. The MAP sensor's a little low in the plenum. And when they get a little oil volume in the plenum, which is normal with wear and tear and age, and you go around a turn, the oil blocks the MAP sensor and sets MAP sensor codes. So we're doing it based on that service bulletin, I guess. Torque screws. Alright, I want to take the throttle body off. That clamp is removable, but not as easy as this one. So I'm just going to take this hose and purge valve off with it. This clamp is a regular clamp, like you might see on a normal manufacturer's car. One more Torx. You might have to remove the intake. We might be able to clean it off this way. Clean that throttle body out and some other things. Pretty nasty in there. That's where the MAP sensor is, right there. You know, I know it looks just like it. There isn't that much oil in the intake like we were reading in the service bulletin. I mean, there is some, but not tons. Yeah, maybe that little bit, because they've got the MAP sensor at the very bottom of the plenum, which is one of the problems they have when you go around a turn and the oil goes this way. So you make a right turn and all of a sudden it runs bad, and the MAP sensor the code comes on from MAP sensor P0106. And sometimes the MAP sensors just go bad too, so I guess that's what we're doing. Not bad. It's really only a film of oil down there. Huh. Very little oil. There's oil on it, but not a ton. Huh. Alright. Let's get the MAP sensor out. Make sure the port's clear too. I think there's only one screw in this. And the other one's a tab. Keeps it from turning. Don't drop it. Sure does have a bunch of oil on it. I can see my rag down here. I think we'll be good. Click. Alright, everything's connected. I gotta do the throttle body. I got that. That thing's so clean. Look at that. You'd never even know that thing was used. Basically rebuilt. Or a reasonable facsimile thereof. There's plastic guides here that line that all up. 4 E's. We'll have this thing running in no time. clear all our codes, see if any come back. I don't remember if I checked this last time. I think I put a vacuum pump on this car a couple months ago. If it looks familiar, this is the one I did that video on. It only goes into plastic, so it stops, I stop. I think it's 70 inch-pounds, the torque spec. I probably should have done this a while ago, but I've came really close to cutting myself a couple times because this is all razor blade edge stuff. So just take any kind of a tool and dull it down. I really think the Volkswagen hates mechanics. Maybe it just seems that way. Pocket screwdriver just happens to work on these screws. That's cool. Let's get the computers talking and see where we're at. I'm going to clear the codes before I even fire it up. I want to know right away if I got a new code or an old one. So we'll jump in there, we'll clear some codes, and we'll fire it up. Goodness gracious, that's not a good look. I want to see it the other way. System list. Too many codes. We got rid of almost all of them. I'll shut this off. Give it a few seconds. Got a nice little idle flare. Let this thing run a little bit, then we'll probably take it for a drive. It's got a brake wear warning. I think when I did the DVI on this a few days ago or a few weeks ago, whatever it was, I think when I did the DVI on this, it had tires and a bunch of other things. That was back with the vacuum pump, so. But we'll take another look. I think I've asked this before too. I don't remember if any of my Volkswagen or Eurocar experts out there. 001-1 engine speed. 002-1 engine speed. 003. 004. 005. 006, 007, 010. I probably missed a couple of them. 011, 012, 013, 14, 22, 23. You guys know why? I'm thinking for it's in each category of other sensors. At engine speed is handy to see while you're looking at other sensors near it. I don't know. Why would they have it in there like 30 times? Kind of strange. Anyway, let's look at the MAP sensor data and see what it's showing us. Throttle angle 2.3%. Idle nice and steady right where we want it. Engine speed 680. Intake manifold pressure G71 and 003-2 intake manifold pressure G71. And they agreed. We can look at it in kilopascals. We can look at it in H pascals. We can look at it in M bar. Whatever you like. It's no problem. Open that up. Hit the gas a little bit. I'm gonna say everything's really good right now. I'll take her for a drive. Make sure everything's good on the road. We don't get any more codes, and then see if we're gonna get back on the valve cover. I think he said something about the Holley carb parts are here for that '69 Mustang. We might play with that. I'm not sure. But we'll come back and you'll see real quick. This is what we're after. Now this pushes in to squirt the fuel. So it goes like that. This arm, when you push the gas, this arm gives a squirt of fuel because the sudden opening of the throttle blades happens before the fuel starts being pulled in through the jets by Venturi effect. So this shot of fuel from this is to keep it from lean bog, and then taking off. The shot of fuel stops that from happening. For those who want to know, you gotta get a Phillips. Like I started with my pocket screwdriver. I'm going to change these bowl gaskets too while we got it apart. We got it off the car. We got some nice blue gaskets. These look like the old school. Oh, you know what? This carburetor is actually a very nice carburetor. It's got adjustable air bleeds and all kinds of cool stuff. Looks like a gasket in there. Let's open it up. Don't have to really go too tight. The fuel tube transfers fuel to the secondaries. Yeah, it did have the blue gaskets on it, but that's alright. We put new blue gaskets on it. You couldn't even see them. It's closed so well in there. When you put it back on, you got to make sure this arm goes under here. And also, you should have the tiniest little bit of play. You can actually put a feeler gauge in there. And I forget off the top of my head, it's 10 to 15 thousandths. You don't want it pushing on the accelerator pump all the time, and you don't want it sloppy loose. You just want a hair of play so it's not pushing on it at all. And I'm going to pull that off. It's probably one of those under there. The power valve is a 65, so 6.5, and this kit came with one. I think I'm going to change that too, because if you look at the way this power valve works, it takes a lot of force to push that in, and the diaphragm don't look too good. And you look at the replacement ones. So I'm going to pop that in too. This might be ruptured as well, and it causes it to be flooding once it starts. If you remember this car from the other day, I couldn't even start it because there was gas pouring out of the accelerator pump on the front. It wasn't very tight either. Got an O-ring seal. I don't want to confuse them. I'm throwing it out. The power valves for when you go wide open throttle, the carburetor needs even more fuel, or the engine needs even more fuel. So the power valve 6.5 will open when the intake manifold vacuum goes under 6.5 inches of vacuum. I tried to talk him into going to fuel injection, but he didn't want to do it. There are pins that are offset on here for the gasket. Just got to find whether you, if it doesn't fit, you flip it over. The power valve and the jets go at the bottom. When the engine's accelerating and there's a vacuum pulling on the carburetor venturis, the Venturi effect causes fuel to be siphoned out of the bowl. But it can't be siphoned until it's off idle ports. This has an O-ring in here. It's not in the kit, and it felt plenty good. So you can also check your float level. When the fuel fills the bowl, it shuts the needle. It shuts off the fuel. So the fuel level is usually about halfway or so across the bowl. All that looks pretty good. I'm going to lubricate that O-ring a little bit. That thing is tight. Put a little something on that O-ring. Little PB blaster. You guys remember the Audi? I think we did an oil change on it and someone said the valve covers were leaking, so I did valve cover gaskets, and they came back today and said, I see oil in the driveway, you did the valve cover gaskets wrong. I said, I don't, they were easy, I don't think that's the case, but It's tight, but the gasket's leaking. So I'll have to pull it out, find a better gasket for it, and we'll put some fresh oil in it. Man, I literally turned that thing a quarter turn and it started leaking again. I mean, leaking worse. That's how much I turned it. From tight, I just went. It's just, all right, we got a gasket supposedly coming. We might even have one here. I'm just gonna pull it out. We're also gonna make sure we got replacement oil for it. It's a little warm. I could probably get a glove, but then it wouldn't be as much fun. Another unusual day. Just let your fingers cool off another minute. Then you can turn it 2 or 3 more turns. Got a much better washer. The other one was absolutely destroyed. That's how you know I didn't do it. That's all I'm saying on the matter. Now I'm definitely going to have to fill it with oil, and before I put that cover back on, I got to clean it up real good and then check it for leaking. It's about as tight as I'm comfortable going. See what happens. I'm gonna need some more air pressure. That's not getting it done. I already cleaned it with mineral spirits. Now I gotta get the mineral spirits out of it. And I gotta get some air pressure eventually. But I'm determined to go till it stops. Seven quarts. 5W30 synthetic dinosaur blood. I thought this would take like the weird Euro stuff, but they said nope, 530. That thing, it's still leaking. What do we do now? Other than thank our lucky stars we don't own an Audi. I've tightened it past my comfort zone. I can go a little more if I need to, but not feeling real good about it.
You doing oil again?
Oil drain plug gasket.
Oh, these are always highly fucking annoying.
Ah, that's what I'm thinking.
You can change the drain plug, change the gasket 5 times, and somehow or another, if oil gets trapped between one of those, it's gonna leak.
Sons of bitches.
Awesome designs.
I'm gonna go see what the torque spec is on this thing and torque it. It looks like it's stopped, but it's really hard to tell because I can't get that little last bit of film of oil out of the corner. At this point, it's ridiculous. I've been doing this over 40 years. I've never seen this. But it's an Audi, so I'm sorry guys if you're a German car fan. Matter of fact, Bill did a bunch of cooling system work on the Audi down there in the first bay and delivered the car this morning. Another hose popped, different one that he didn't touch. It looks like it might have seeped a tiny bit while I was away. The torque spec for that little tiny, I think it's a 6mm or so. 6mm Allen, 22 foot-pounds. We'll see what happens. Hopefully my adapter can do 22 foot-pounds. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try. Boom, there it is, 22. There it is. Manufacturer says that's good. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it really is. We'll let it sit about 10 minutes. Come back and see if it's dry as a boner. Alright, I use my fine marking paint and I put 22 foot. So anyone who does this will learn an easier way that you have to torque that to 22 foot-pounds, even with a new gasket, because anything less, it leaks. But it's been quite a while now, and it's holding so far. I can't promise you tomorrow, but so far it looks good. I'm not sure if I videoed this one. I was running around like a chicken without a head. I had 3 customers waiting earlier, but the compressor wasn't turning on. It had 12 volts to it. There's a pink wire going down the compressor. I looked at my scan data. It said compressor request on, compressor relay on. So I tested that wire. It had power, but the clutch on the compressor wasn't engaging. So we're putting a compressor in it. Now we're going to try to finish this today. They really want to get it back. So the only thing left is loosen the tensioner, get the belt off. I've got the bottom bolt out. And there's 2 bolts at the top that you get from the top once the belt's off. You pull the lines out of your way and you can get to the top bolts from up top. You certainly can't get to the top bolts from here. You can see why. So let's see if we can get this done today. She'd like to have it back, which means she has to. Be careful, because this is all sharp, and I can't fit my regular ratchet wrench or anything in there because the frame is just in the way. You get it just enough to get the belt off. That's how you get to those 12s. And you can't fit the compressor out the bottom, and you can't fit the compressor out the top. So where you saw me getting the serpentine belt, that's where you fit the compressor out of. You got to take those 2 12s out of the top. I'm hoping this is going to work. Alright, gotta watch that fan though. I'm gonna turn that out the rest of the way by hand so my tool doesn't get jammed in the fan. I'm not sure if the bolt will fit out or has to remain in the compressor. Oh yeah, it fits. One more bolt and then we'll sneak it out the wheel well. This hose is discombobulated, so I can move it a little more if I want. Got it. Can you see it in there? Probably not, huh? What about now? Alright. Let me, one of those Econo compressor deals, 1-800 radiator or whatever. I want to say that's probably what that is. Clockwise. Look familiar? Got to take this bracket off here or something? Or? Oh, okay, it pushes into here. So this one goes like this. My number one thing with these compressors that I don't like, it doesn't tell you if it has oil in it, how much, or anything. So I find the only way to really get oil in them accurately is to dump them out and put 3 to 5 ounces of oil in it, depending on how much other work you've done. If you haven't changed any other parts, at least 3 ounces. And then after I connect the hoses, turn the front of the hub to pump the oil out of the low side so it doesn't try to compress liquid. Same thing that happens to an engine when you go through a puddle. After you flood the engine, same thing happens when you fill it with oil. It's going to try to come out somewhere. It usually blows out the front seal, and then they end up leaking. So whatever amount of oil you put in it, turn the front of the compressor a bunch of times. If you're doing a condenser and other parts as well, then you probably got to go up to 6-7 ounces, see what the application holds. Be a vacuum seal in this thing. This one should come out easier. means it comes with no oil. Just has a little bit of assembly oil in it. But we got plenty. Now they don't, you know, this is 8 ounces of oil. It says it right there. But they don't grade it for you. I wish they'd have a scale right here. So what I do is I go half, 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 half. Not a perfect science, but you're pretty dang close. Pulitzer Prize, no, that Pulitzer's for a writer. What do you get for this? Academy of Sciences Award? I don't know. I'm not being silly, let's get this card done. What do you say? So I didn't mark the top, so 3 lines down is 3 ounces. That's not even 1. It's gonna take a while. And beat it. Pop this back in so we don't get dirt in there. We'll lose oil from it. Alright, listen man. Really giving me a hard time. Yeah. You always want to keep the caps on these things. Refrigerant oil is hygroscopic, just like brake fluid. If you leave the container open and you leave this sitting out on a shelf, you come back in a few days and the level will have gone up. It pulls moisture into it. You gotta be real careful with that. Always put the cap back, just like brake fluid. You're gonna shove it in there and see how it goes. Put that bottom bolt in loosely, then go up to the top and button that up. In fact, I think I can get to these top bolts from down here to at least get them started. I use the ratchet wrench on the bottom bolt. There's a lot of threads on this bolt, I'll tell you that much. Good workout though. You get your cardio, you get your steps. My phone's going crazy thinking I'm stepping. It's just a joke. I don't carry my phone with me at work. It sits on my toolbox. Goodness gracious. Couple of lines, 2 connectors in the belt. I'm figuring you probably can't see much. I can't see it. So one more connector. Now I can pop those rubber plugs out. I hope. Oh, look at that. Told you it would work. They sell special tools for removing O-rings too, you know. I just use a pocket screwdriver. I think that they know mechanics like tools. That's basically what's going on there. Always bring that O-ring down so that metal flange is touching the compressor. No one ever try to use the bolt to pull it in because it'll go crooked and make a mess. At least that's what I've heard. That's what Rain Man Ray told me. Actually, been so busy I haven't been able to watch any of his videos lately. I gotta catch up because that's unacceptable. Royalty Motors, Rain Man Ray, Eric O, Ivan from Pine Hollow. I watch all those guys. Scanner Danner. This line, put the bolt in it. Now you can't really fit your fingers in there to hand start it. So since I don't use power tools to start them, in aluminum especially, I'll just use my extension and my socket and start it by hand with that. I like to call it remote finger starting, or remote thread bolt starting, something like that. Alright, lift it up. I'm going to put the belt on it and put up my splash shields and stuff. We'll get it on a vacuum. Well, got the tensioner bottomed out. Can't quite get the belt on the last screw, but it's close though. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's on all the pulleys. Don't ever think you're going to do that one on the side of the road when the belt breaks if you don't maintain it. Loving the torch fits over here. You guys over at Nissan, Bill, Bob, Matsumoto, Masami. Really appreciate you guys getting me this work. Just a wannabe mechanic on YouTube. When the weekend comes, I go get live with the homies. My wife wouldn't like that. You got more plastic doodads and thingamabobs. Listen, man. I'm tired. It's the end of the week. Let's do this. Give me a hard time. You gotta be real careful. You got 2 different push pins. You gotta remember where they go. I don't remember. Fast and Furious Dr. Charger. Challenger, actually. That one's small. Small ones go after the big ones. I remember that much.
So hey, you two, once I get and I like to do a wild thing. Wild thing. It's gonna go really fast so it sounds funny.
Ooh, doggy. I'm out of push pins, I think. We got the big machine pulling it down. We're gonna see if we can get some refrigerant in this thing and get it back to the customer for the weekend. I gotta put the wipers on too. And the cabin filter. Don't forget that. Big upsells on this ticket. Let's do it. Let's see here. Hey, this wiper's seen better days. What do you think? Aggressive sales? You just sell people stuff they don't need. Okay. The correct way to put that would be, we sell people stuff they don't want. Basically, if you go to get your car worked on anywhere and you get a big list of things you need to fix every time, it's because you're not taking care of your car. Bill will tell you, he knows. While that thing is doing evac and recharge tango, let's see if I can get to the... Oh, there it is. I think there's a cabin filter in here somewhere. I'm not sure. Maybe back here? What do you think? Just take the dash out and find it. Point 2. Something happened. I don't know if it's good or bad. Why do I feel like there's going to be a second piece? Where is it? Oh. Huh. Alright. This is one of the ones that it's a crush removal. And you crush the new one putting it in, I guess. Because it's bigger than the hole. Perfect. Now, be a little more gentle putting the new one in. Faces this way. It's a product of Malaysia. I don't know why Matsumoto and Masami thought fat old guys would enjoy doing this, but I'm starting to think they don't care. I don't know, it just seems that way. You'll sit right there and you'll watch me do this from a distance. I don't want to put the camera in there real close and traumatize everybody. It's better if it's just me. I can handle it. It's gonna go in one way or another. That half and the bottom half. And you can't roll your body in there and bring your arms in there and hold yourself up. I don't know, maybe I'll take the seat out. That might help. Trust me, when I'm filming this stuff, you guys, I don't want to get frustrated and show you how aggravating things are, but I want to show you reality. And if it's aggravating, that's what it is. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Pretend? Can't do it. Not gonna do it. Sorry. See? Told you. I turned a little red while I was doing it. It happens. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. There are people making videos that will do anything to grow their channel, and it's just not me. I take it with me at work. That's all I do. Whatever happens, happens. All right, listen here, man. The vacuum is complete. We're putting 1.1 pounds in, and this will be like a brand new car. This is where the pink wire, I put silicone on it, and I could tape that over, but honestly I don't really want to hide it, because down the road 3 years from now, if some kind of electrical problem, they can say, hey, someone was messing around in here, they don't know what they're doing, and they can make a video about it. Let's fire this thing up, see if we get a compressor that works. Go out there and see what the pressures look like. All right, needless to say, compressor's not working. Compressor request signal on. Compressor duty 90%. Ambient temp, engine coolant temp. And I've got the same thing I had before. My 14 volts. That's a test light. Compressor doesn't work, so we still got trouble. Well, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. All right, I'm not sure if she's going to take this and then bring it back for us to finish it next week. 12 volts, well, 13.8 with the engine running. It's too hot for me to get way back down to the 2-pin connector. I'm gonna have to pull that connector off, see if I have good power and ground right there at the compressor. Probably just got a defective compressor, I'm fearing. There's only 10 or 12 inches of wires that we haven't tested. And now I got it hot. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna have to pull this around. She'll take it and bring it back next week. Like I said, we'll continue on it. We're gonna get it working one way or another, I guarantee you that. So thanks for watching. Kind of an odd day today. I still hope it was worth torquing the like button on your way out. And more than anything though, I hope I see you in the next one. And I hope you have a great weekend, because you're awesome.